Hello, this is my second video in my series of launching my first art shop. I gave myself 30 days to do this. I'm down to 29. So today I'm focusing on my paintings, making sure I have enough cohesive work to start making into art prints. For so long I have put off selling art prints because I wanted everything to look matchy-matchy, cohesive, like one style. And that's hard for me because I illustrate and I do live wedding paintings and I kind of dabble into different styles, and so trying to settle in on one style to represent my own work was hard. But I feel like I've figured some things out, and so I hope that this video can help you feel inspired and just kind of give you permission to just start with what you have and where you are and give you some direction with where to go from there. For the last few years, I've kind of just made like little tiny pieces of art that I like, and it's been fun to like explore different styles, different mediums. They're all over the place though, as you can see. But I was just kind of making quick things that I could just post on Instagram so I could post frequently and make things really small and really easy. But I didn't really have like a set direction that I wanted to go with it. Until recently, I decided that I want to make things more large scale for this shop because I want to be able to sell quality things, and yeah, I want them to be bigger, and if I paint them that small, they can't be big. And so if I'm gonna make commitments into bigger pieces of art, I wanted to have some direction. So figuring out where to start was tricky for me. But I looked through the pieces of art that I really like that I had made. There were some that I liked more than others that felt more representative of who I am and what I want to share. And then there were some that I knew I had just made to make a quick reel on Instagram. And so I picked the ones that I really liked. And then I also made a Pinterest board of, this has been a long time going. This Pinterest board's been building, but of illustrators that I like and of styles that I like and subject matter. And so after doing all that, I kind of had to write down what the similarities were between the pieces that I love, which is hard because some of them seem pretty different. But I was able to come up with like colors that I like, as well as textures. And I also had to let go of what I've done in the past and say, okay, what do I want to do in the future? What excites me? And I don't want to be held back by what I've done before. It's okay as an artist to grow and evolve. And I know there's so much hype about being consistent online, but honestly, my audience is still so small that I don't feel like it's a big deal to change directions. And I still feel like as long as I'm doing things that are authentic to me, that everything will work together and people will see that. So I started with a color scheme. I kind of used my iPad to play around with different colors, and I wanted to, I don't know if I really started with the colors or the subject matter, but I wrote down a list of like what my subject matter should be. And I love flowers, I love nature, I love family relationships. And so those are the things that I want to paint. And I needed colors that are gonna work with that, but I know that it looks best from the artists that I follow that are doing really well and just inspire me. I think having a smaller color palette that is recognizable makes a big difference. And so I picked just a handful of colors, and I bought paints in just those colors. I know I could just mix my own paints, but I'm on a time crunch. Y'all know that. So I just bought colors that I like that are already mixed and that I think look great together. So I have titanium white, this light pink is what it's called, super fancy name. This is not the correct one. This is gold, but I got a yellow that looks a lot like this gold. And then this blue-gray color. This is like my favorite color ever, so I knew that I needed to incorporate this blue because it's me. And then I actually honestly don't like this green, and I cannot find any pre-mixed greens that I love. So I do add some yellow and brown and white sometimes to that green. And then burnt sienna, because I feel like that's a good base and just when I need a darker tone to mix in. But yeah, mostly I wanted to stick with that pink blue, yellow, and green colors because I just love them. And I know that my shop is gonna launch in like when fall is coming. And so that might be a problem that all my paintings are in spring colors, but I'm still gonna start with that because it feels like me. And honestly, just picking the limited color palette made a huge difference in the cohesiveness of my work because I know I have to stick to these colors and that subject matter. And so not everything I paint turns out great, of course, but it really helps things look good together when they do turn out good. So I'll show you what I have and what I'm deciding between, and yes, where I have to go from there. All right, so I'm gonna show you what I've been working on. Not everything, as I said, that I painted has worked out, but I think that's the best way to go about it, is just to know that you're picking your best out of lots of pieces and not just like making a masterpiece every single time. That's totally okay to make mistakes and make things that you don't like. And sometimes you'll surprise yourself and make something you do in the meantime. So like this one, I wasn't originally planning on having it to sell, but I like how it turned out. I just did it for my daughter and it feels genuine to me, and I think that other people like it as well. And I'm excited to see what it looks like when I blow it up. Yeah, it definitely has more green than my other ones, but it's naturey and I need some more with people in them. So I really like this one and I'm gonna use it. This one's too small, so I don't know what to do with it, but I just think it's cute. So yeah, again, I don't know. I'm holding it together with them because it gives me the feeling that I like, but I don't know about it. This mountain one, I feel like it's not complete yet. I like the idea of it, but it needs like clouds or something. I'm not sure. This one, I really like how that one turned out, especially the colors. After I did it, I was just really happy about the pinks and the yellows and whites, just the softness of it. I'm a fan. This one I like. I'm not convinced that it fits super well with everything else that I've done, but I like it by itself. Or if I want it to fit better, it might make the background a little lighter, like add a little white to that. This one I also love. It's inspired by me and my almost 2-year-old son. The only thing about it is I feel like her head is a little bit too big and like makes it look more like cartoony than I want it to. So I want to do something about that before I put it in the shop. Okay, this one's my favorite, and really it only took me not that long to do. I painted the background because I just, like I said, I love the creams and whites and I wanted to do something with that. And then I just had a few minutes left and said, what the heck, I'm gonna add some hollyhocks to it, and I love it. I love how it turned out and I want to make more like it. So I'm trying to figure out like if I should do hollyhocks in different colors or do some more pink ones, or yeah, keep that background and do different types of flowers. I don't know, but I want to make at least one like companion piece to that for the collection. And then this one is my favorite landscape that I have so far. I love the colors, I love the textures. Definitely using that. And just to make everybody feel better, I made a lot that I don't like. I was like running out of white paint, so I used just like pink and yellow to make this background, but it's so bright and I'm not gonna use that. This one was like one of my first landscapes with these colors, and I don't like how it worked out. I don't know. I don't like these flowers up in the front and stuff, so I'm not gonna use that either. And this one was a cute idea, but just not impressive to me. So when I say I just have a handful of pieces that I love for this art collection, it's a small handful. Like, I have a lot of work to do. And so today I'm gonna work on another painting, maybe something to go with the hollyhocks. We'll see. I don't know, whatever my hands want to create today, I guess. But honestly, when I put them all together, it just like warms my heart that I have paintings that go together. Like, I don't know, when you like are at an art fair or something and you go to somebody's booth and you feel like you're entering their little world, and just everything is magical. It doesn't mean all the paintings are exactly the same, but they do go together. And it just makes that artist so memorable. Like, you'll remember going to their booth and the way that it made you feel and what it inspired in you. And I want people to feel that when they go to my website, that they will just be able to enter this bright world of soft florals and colors and happiness. And I need to obviously come up with some more words for this brand, but I feel like when I look at all those paintings together, it does make me happy that they kind of go together and that they're starting to feel cohesive and feel like they belong in their own space. So I did use my iPad to just like draw out some rough sketches of paintings that I wanted to include in this collection, and honestly hardly any of those have been created. It's like when I sit down to paint, I suddenly don't care about all the plans that I made and I just let myself work on whatever feels inspiring that day. And so I don't know, I gotta go back to the drawing board and see if any of those things still inspire me, but if not, that's okay too. But honestly, I feel like if I make just a lot of work in these colors, I'm gonna land on a few that I really love, and that's the goal. I was trying to film and talk as I painted, but my phone ran out of space, and I really need to film these on my camera instead. Lesson learned. But my main takeaways for doing your first art collection, or your second or third, or wherever you're at, I think a great way to start is to decide on what subject matter inspires you, and then choose a color palette that will work with that. And I mean, I guess you could do whatever subject in whatever colors you want. So maybe you want to start with a color palette, but choose something that is limiting in a good way that will help all of your work flow together as one collection. And then use Pinterest or whatever else you might want to use to gather inspiration for the styles and textures and paintings that you like, so that you can see what you want your art to look like as well. Make more art than you need for your collection. I only plan on listing 5 to 10 pieces for sale, but I'm making as much as I possibly can in this short amount of time, so I can pick the best ones and feel confident and excited about them. And then lastly, I think it's fine if you don't have everything figured out right at the beginning and everything planned out perfectly before you start. It's okay to just start painting and see what comes out and what is working and what isn't, and then pick the pieces that feel the best. For me, this has worked because I could spend forever overthinking and planning and never put paintbrush to canvas and just never paint because I'm too stressed about everything working out perfectly. So let go of perfection, start painting, you'll find your style, you'll eventually land on pieces that you feel confident with. So I still have a lot of work to create for this collection, and I hope that you'll follow along and see if I can pull it off. Launching my art shop pretty soon here, and yeah, got lots to do. So follow along, see the things that I learn as I go, and hopefully I can help you too.